with the chief on, I appreciate everybody coming. I know everybody has their jobs and their lives and stuff. So to come out here so we can work together to solve some of these things is important. I'm pretty excited to give you guys some updates. I do know that I guess like the chief mentions, the elephant in the room would be twofold, would be the robberies that are occurring in Beat 4 near the footbridge, as well as the recent residential burglary that occurred on Allen Ranch. All of you are familiar with that based on the media and some ring videos. So I want to give you guys some updates on those. Like the chief mentioned, I oversee our Community Resources Bureau and our POP unit, but I also work closely with our investigations unit and their supervisors and those detectives. So as far as it relates to the footbridge robberies, since January, we have had 4 within that vicinity. I'm very happy to announce that our detectives have identified and arrested a subject, an individual, on 2 of those. Those would be the 2 most recent that occurred. It is a juvenile, so I can't share his name and things of that nature. But on the first one that occurred back in January, we have all 4 suspects identified. They're also juveniles, so I can't share that information due to investigative purposes. So the arrests on that case are imminent. So basically 3 out of 4 of those cases we are wrapping up and putting a bow on it and sending it to the district attorney's office. I can share with all of you that the DA is on board with us on holding these people accountable for these crimes. If you guys aren't too familiar with them, they've all been strong arm robberies, meaning there's no weapons, but a group of individuals are essentially jumping kids as they're passing the footbridge, and cell phones and tennis shoes have been the property that's been taken. So the district attorney's office is taking it very serious. That's another element to criminal justice, right? Is we identify the suspects, put together a report and arrest, and then it's imperative that we follow through and they actually get prosecuted and held accountable. So we're excited that that's happening.
Do they live in the area?
The one who was arrested on 2 of the cases is an Elk Grove resident. And then on the 4 that have been identified, I'm not aware if they're residents or not because they haven't been arrested yet. They're working on arrest warrants or just fresh arrests, which just means we go out and arrest them and then they get charged. The other case, the Allen Ranch case, is everybody familiar with that? The residential burglary that occurred, I believe it was last week. I know you're very familiar, it's your neighbor's home. So that case was a residential burglary. If you didn't view the ring video, suspects enter the home, they take weapons, and they exit via the front door. Very happy and excited to announce that one of the suspects, the main suspect in that case, has been identified. It is an adult who is not from our area. I'm not going to disclose his name because he hasn't been arrested yet, and the last thing we want to do is tip him off and have any issues with the investigation. He is part of a string of burglaries that have occurred actually all over the region, not just in Sacramento County, but also in other counties reaching towards the Bay Area. So one of those individuals has been identified, and arrest is imminent probably in the next week or so, I would imagine, based on the problem right now is we don't know exactly where he's staying. Believe it or not, people lie to the police, and the address he gives to us is not his true address. So we're working on doing some surveillance with some of our undercover units, also reaching out to other agencies to get him in custody as soon as possible. Does anybody have questions on those 2 cases? My thought was just to open up on those 2 cases. I'll share with you what I can. Understand that if it's going to hinder the investigation, because obviously all of our goal is